PFF is bringing you college power rankings ahead of week 4. Starting with number 1, we got to talk Clemson. Very good. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence, 9th best pass protection unit in the country right now. This is the team to beat in college football.
It is the team to beat, even though Trevor Lawrence has struggled. He is unleashing turnover-worthy plays at a rate we've never seen him.
Oh, that's
Obviously,
true. Yeah.
It's only his true sophomore season. But in his 12 games that he was a starter last year, only had 5 turnover-worthy passes. He already has 7 through 3 games this year. It's an alarming rate, and he's had to be bailed out by his receivers, albeit super talented, more often than not so far. We do like to see him kind of shore that up, but outside of that, the defense has been stellar. The receivers are making plays for him.
Yep.
Travis Etienne averaging incredible yards per attempt through the ground, on the ground, with incredible run blocking in front of him. So we do like them as a class of college football right now.
Absolutely. But it's a two-man race. Alabama there coming in at number 2 on our power rankings. Tua Tagovailoa looking fantastic. Jerry Jeudy, one of my favorite players in the country. Can't get enough of that guy. Alabama pushing for Clemson, maybe a couple more turnover-worthy throws, and we can take over number 1.
Yeah, the Crimson Tide are truly number 2, if not pushing closely. Those 1 and 2 have separated themselves from the crowd. Tua is doing everything you want him to do, super high grades, but didn't necessarily move the needle, so to speak, in week 3. They schemed those wide receivers open. It was the feed the Jerry Jeudy show in week 1, week 2, only the second time in his career he saw double-digit targets in back-to-back games. South Carolina game plans against that, freeze open Devontae Smith, Henry Ruggs. They take multiple passes on short area throws, down the field, the distance for touchdowns. Tua with a big stat line, but not necessarily a big grade, not necessarily his fault, but Tua and this Alabama Crimson Tide inching closer to Clemson, and they clearly are a step ahead of everybody else in the country.
Man, that Henry Ruggs catch practically broke Twitter so fast. Everyone wants to call him the fastest guy in the country. I think they're right. He looks very good so far this year. I'm going to skip past Georgia. Andrew Thomas, fantastic. That team, fantastic. They come in at number 3. LSU, we got to talk about the kid.
LSU.
Joe Burrow, number 4. He's playing outstanding right now, and you got Justin Jefferson playing well, getting strong play from the defense, Christian Fulton. I really do like this team at number 4. Maybe not at the level of Alabama and Clemson, but still top 4 for us in the power rankings.
They're close. LSU is closing that gap. They're this newfound offense that the Tigers have not seen in maybe even the past decade, maybe even longer than that. Derek Stingley, the true freshman next to Fulton as well. We saw Fulton emerge next to Greedy Williams last year. Now Stingley is emerging as his true freshman, highly recruited kid. Stingley locking down Colin Johnson against Texas.
Yeah.
They do play Northwestern State last weekend, setting up for some bigger games in the SEC, but they destroy Northwestern State after a slow start.
As you'd
They
expect.
did exactly what you want them to do. Never ding these college players for playing against Northwestern State. They did not have any part of scheduling that game.
Yeah.
Do what they do against these lower tier competition, and you look at what is stable from week to week, and that's where Joe Burrow is succeeding. He's succeeding on passes downfield. He's succeeding from a clean pocket, and that is what we love for Burrow in this LSU offense, to crack the top 5 into top 4 and surpass the Notre Dame Fighting Irish.
Absolutely. Number 5, Notre Dame. Then you got 6, Ohio State. I want to jump right to 7. I'm ready for Jalen Hurts. I love that offense. I really do like this team a lot. They have a lot of playmakers. CeeDee Lamb going against UCLA. They looked very good. I think Jalen Hurts, insane with his legs, can do well with his arm. I really do like this Oklahoma team. Again, not in that same breath as Clemson and Alabama, but this team can be powerful in this year.
Yeah, they're going to open up the rest of their games most likely as favorites, no matter where they play. That Texas game will be a litmus test for either one of those two teams if they want to compete with another one of these maybe SEC foe. If they get their Oklahoma shaping up to enter the college football playoff discussion, if they get by Texas this year. But Jalen Hurts, Lincoln Riley though, head coach Lincoln Riley, if he takes Jalen Hurts to New York for the Heisman ceremony, wins the Heisman with Jalen Hurts, Lincoln Riley needs to go back, etch his name under Baker's, etch his name under Kyler Murray's Heisman. He is able to get the best out of a quarterback, better than we've seen in a long, long time, maybe even ever. This is uncharted territory to have potentially back-to-back-to-back transfer quarterbacks win the Heisman for you. Lincoln Riley is arguably now entering that conversation for best college football coach.
Coming in at number 8, Florida squeaks by Kentucky. It wasn't a great game. They obviously lost Felipe Franks, but they're still coming in at number 8. Michigan here at 9, Auburn 10, Penn State coming in at 11, Iowa 12, Texas A&M 13. Tell me what you like about Texas A&M, that slot at 13.
It's Kellen Mond. It's Kellen Mond. We like him. He had a down game against Clemson. What quarterbacks really don't have a down game against Clemson? The defense is all over the field for the Tigers. But Kellen Mond succeeding also on these passes. If it weren't for Joe Burrow and Tua and Jake Fromm and these other big-name kids in the SEC, Kellen Mond is up there with the best quarterbacks in his conference. Clean pocket play has been great for him. He utilizes play action as well with this newfound running game from Isaiah Spiller that they saw this past weekend, though. Texas A&M beats up Lamar. They get a rough schedule, though, in the SEC. Let's see what they do, but it'll all come down to Kellen Mond.
Moving down the list a little bit, I want to jump to Utah at number 17. I love Zach Moss. Kids forcing missed tackles at an absurd rate. That's going to help you in college football. Running game matters in college football, especially when you're adding yards above expectation at the level Moss is right now. Talk to me about this Utah team.
Yeah, so it's the Zach Moss, Tyler Huntley show. It is the best defense in the country at this point.
Oh,
They've
really?
risen.
Wow.
I think so, at least. Maybe it doesn't back up against any of these yards per game allowed or any of those metrics, but I think the depth that Utah has on defense and all of the position groups, the front four, the linebacking core, the secondary, is amazing. But Tyler Huntley goes out against Idaho State, shows up. Anybody that says he can't throw the ball down the field, he hits 3 perfect deep passes, a perfect pass rating, 3 touchdowns. But Zach Moss, I have to talk about Zach Moss.
Yes.
The PFF college record for forced missed tackles per attempt. David Montgomery of the Chicago Bears, now 32% of his carries, he forced a missed tackle on. Zach Moss is well over 50% of his carries,
Wow.
52 carries, 32 broken tackles at this point. This is an absurd amount of broken tackles per carry. He averages 5 yards after contact per carry as well. These are all just numbers bouncing off the top of my head because they're that astounding. If Zach Moss keeps this up, even through the 3 games he has, it's ridiculous enough. But if he keeps these numbers up through Pac-12 play, Zach Moss, go to New York, please. I like him for the Heisman if those numbers continue.
There you go. I'm going to skip all the way down to number 25. Remember, you can see the full list on PFF.com, 1 through 25, all the college power rankings. But at number 25, the Knights, UCF, playing fantastic again this year. They look really good. Maybe they can scratch the surface. Maybe they can make the college football playoff right now at number 25. But a lot of good things with UCF right now.
So it's our Knights. We call them here in the office. Our Knights. We're big fans of the UCF Knights, cracking in the top 25. Kind of had some question marks at quarterback going into the season. Was it going to be Brandon Wimbush? It is officially Dylan Gabriel time. Guy had all of the Hawaii high school passing records for a reason. That's bettering Tua, bettering their own UCF Knight quarterback, Mackenzie Milton.
Wow.
Dylan Gabriel is the man, so to speak. He's
you
not
thought Texas had good quarterbacks? Hawaii just breeding these guys.
Tua, Mackenzie. Going back to Marcus Mariota days, Jordan Ta'amu. Big name kids that have come from the island state here.
They're trying to throw all the way to the mainland. That's where it's at.
It happens, But Dylan Gabriel, not necessarily the biggest kid, he just flows in that UCF offense. The bounce house was rocking for Stanford. Gabriel Davis at wide receiver made Paulson Adebo look nothing like a first-round talent.
Man.
That stop and go that he put on him made his way around the world. Essentially, it feels like, but the Gabriel to Gabriel connection, Dylan Gabriel, Gabriel Davis, their defense for the Knights.
Double Gabriel.
Double Gabriel. It's never, you can't go wrong.
Can't go wrong.
I do think, though, UCF will likely, if they finish at a 12-0, 13-0 mark, they're going to have to, unfortunately, win their games by a comfortable margin, 3 to 4 touchdown lead margin or victory here to be considered. But let's see them continue to put out, and let's see Dylan Gabriel continue to emerge.
That level of consistency, though, I know it's in the group of 5, is going to help them in the recruiting ranks. It's going to help this team, kind of grow and get better overall. I mean, maybe they're not going to the college football playoff this year, but them continuing to be good is only beneficial for the program overall. This has been PFF's College Football Power Rankings entering Week 4. For more content like this, go and subscribe to PFF's YouTube channel, or go ahead and go to the site, pff.com.
Thanks for watching the PFF YouTube channel, and if you want to subscribe, all you have to do is push the button. Don't forget everything you get. A little fantasy, push the button. A little green line for the gambling aspects of the game, push the button. College football, push the button. The YouTube channel from PFF.